Yeah, not Shauna.
All right, folks, if I can get your attention, we're ready to get started. I'll start by saying I'm Jim Abbott, the athletic director at OCU, but I think I know just about everybody in the room. So, we're glad you're here today. We're going to call that empty table in the middle, we're going to call that the penalty box. Anybody that gets out of line, we'll have our wrestling folks throw you in the penalty box. Yeah, we can't put Denney in there. He's got to speak today, so he's not going to jail. We're glad you're here. Spring is always such a busy time for us. I mean, there's just something every day, and spring goes by so quickly. So we appreciate that you took a few moments to be with us today. We're going to get updates today for men's basketball, wrestling, and baseball. We're going to start by introducing the student athletes that we have in attendance. So if you're an OCU student athlete, if you would stand at this time. The dynamic duo. They didn't introduce themselves yet. Julia, I'm going to let you go first. Tell us your name, your sports, where you're from, and what you're majoring in.
I'm Alia Ford. I'm from Barcelona, Spain. I'm a senior, and I'm majoring in business administration.
Did Elia, anything unique happen in your life the last few days?
Well, we just won in Victoria, Texas. So
I just love it. Elia said we won, but Elia shot 69 in her final round, and not only did we win, but she won the entire tournament. So. All right, no pressure.
I'm Rachel McFarland. I'm from Michigan, and I'm a sophomore in physiology.
And a member of the women's wrestling team. All right, thank you. Okay, gosh, the weather has played havoc on our basketball schedule. We've had to rearrange, I guess, at least 3 games already. So each month when we come here, we ask Dionne Phelps to give us an update, and he always looks tired, and the reason is because she's tired. The good news is, not only is he tired, but our team had a great game last night to celebrate. So here to give us an update. They clap for you before anything. It's always good
I think the last time I visited with you guys, since then we've had 5 games, and we got 4 of those 5. We went down to Texas to Wayland Baptist, and some of you guys will appreciate this and know what I'm talking about. But when we went down there, they invited us to get behind that shed and handed out a good bubble. And it was something that we needed. We needed that. You hate to have that happen to you, but that was a bubble. There's nothing that I can say or any excuses. We went down there and just bent over, and they just took the paddle out. And so, you know, the interesting thing about that is that for whatever reason, the clock would not go down fast enough. and it had to sit back and take that, and then get on the bus, and that drive is such a long drive, but it was a good thing, because it kept me awake trying to figure out what happened. And I asked my assistant coach, I said, you know, what do you think happened? He said, Coach, we just got our butt whooped. That's just it. and I'm still driving, trying to figure it out. But it woke us up. We were at home for a couple of games, and we had some success, and we went down on the road. And I think some of that, with a lot of kids, they feel like they can just duplicate the same thing. You know, we played Wayland Baptist here and beat them 20, and I guess, convincing those guys that it was going to be difficult to get that same effect at their place was hard to do. But once we got back in order, and we changed some attitudes and had an attitude adjustment once we got back and watched film and regrouped. And so this last week was pretty good for us so far. We have 4 games left, and we have a couple of tough ones. Coming up this Thursday, we have USAO, who has really given us problems. Last time we played them, they're very tough, very guard-oriented. They have a post player that's been playing out of his mind lately. So we're hoping that we can neutralize that once we get a chance to watch film today. And then after that, we go down back to Texas, and hopefully the result will be a little bit different as we go down to Fort Worth to play Texas Wrestling. This has been an interesting year in the conference, and I think I told you this before. I've enjoyed it because there are no nights off. There may be a #1 team going down to Northwood, who's having a pretty average year as far as coming into the league. But if you go down there and you feel like you have a W that you can mark on your schedule, then you're sadly mistaken, no matter who you are. They ended up beating a team, I think, in our league, 25, maybe 30 points. The same thing can happen no matter where you go. So that's the thing that I have enjoyed about this particular season, is just that there are no nights off. Each night we're being challenged at the highest level. Teams that I think are definitely prepared to make a run if they're fortunate to get in the national tournament. I think we have teams in our league that can represent our conference pretty well. So we're excited about it. We're not completely healthy yet. Terry Johnson, I texted him the other night and asked him how he was doing. He said he's about at 70%. He's had some knee problems as far as him being able to move. Chris Campbell, our freshman, has finally gotten a chance to get back on the floor. Last night was his second game. We can only really kind of test him for about a half just to see where he's at. So Terrence Walker is, I think, now at about 90%. So we're at the same time trying to get over some injuries, but as you know, no one's feeling sorry for us. So we just got to kind of strap it up and get things done. But outside of that, if you guys have any questions that I can answer. No? Okay, well, if you guys can be there on Thursday to help us support our women's program. Latricia's not here, but as you know, they're doing a hell of a job. Latricia and the women's program are doing the things that they need to do. Obviously, she's at practice right now, getting ready for a tough game that's coming up week with USAO and then also Texas Wrestling. So if you guys can come out on Thursday, like you always do, support our women's program and us too. Yes, sir.
Dionne, she wanted us to mention that the cancer night, the pink, will be Thursday night again.
Okay, Thursday night again. Okay, and as you can see, guys, those uniforms are nice. And they're doing a great job representing such a great cause. So, as he mentioned, if you guys come out and support that cause too, I know she'd be greatly appreciated. All right? Okay, thank you.
Well, we have not had an update from wrestling in quite a while. The official part of why that occurs is because we play basketball every Thursday and Saturday night, and heck, find the time to wrestle every weekend's tournament. So often they wrestle on Wednesdays, and they've been on the road. So I cornered Coach Randall today and told him that we needed an update. We headed to the regional competition for men's wrestling this weekend. So here to give us a wrestling update, let's welcome Archie Randall.
Okay. First of all, I'd like to talk about our women's program. We went to the national tournament. I think we were 50-point underdogs. We were ahead by 18 going into the final round. The wrestling tournament's the one on the backside. The third and fourths. We had 7 girls in the third and fourth place matches, and things didn't go very well for us. Christy Garr, which is one of our seniors, was winning 9-2. Gave me the nod that she's going to go ahead and get the bonus so she can get extra points. She took a shot and knocked herself out. She knocked herself out. We lost the match because you can't continue after concussion. And we were ahead in 5 other matches, and it didn't go very well. We had funny things happen all the way through. So we lost by 2 points. So we finished second by 2 points, but the good thing about the women's team, we returned 22 girls, 10 of them are All-Americans. So we're going to go back next year, and hopefully we're going to go ahead. We won 4, we finished second 3 times by a total of 6 points. That's our losses. So hopefully this next year we'll be able to pull off the win. The thing about the girls team is we took them to Dave Schultz, which is an international tournament. They got to wrestle with girls from all over the world. And they came back and said they weren't strong enough, so now we're doing some heavy lifting. They whined and cried about the heavy lifting because their arms are getting too big. They're getting too bulky, so I bought them all, what do you call those things? Tank tops, bro tanks. So the girls, at the next baseball, softball games, they'll be sporting their bro tanks to show off their new muscles. On the back of it says OCU Wrestling on the front, and on the back it says Swole. They whined, I fixed it. They're gonna be happy now. They're gonna wear it because I bought it. Because that's what it is. Guys team, on the other hand, I have a different situation I've never had since I've been here at OCU. I have a phenomenal freshman sophomore group. We're going to regionals. We're taking 12 kids to regionals. 8 of them are freshmen sophomores. They don't understand that they're not supposed to win as freshmen sophomores. They win. When they win, they upset people left and right. The only problem with them is they're real inconsistent. One day we'll beat the number 3 guy in the nation, and then the next day we'll lose to somebody I never heard of. We went to Colorado, New Mexico. We beat Colorado, which is one of the better teams, and then we lost to New Mexico the next day. So I'm kind of don't know what to do about what we're going to do in the regionals. I'm hoping to get 7 through to the national tournament and make it all 12 of them. It depends on what day it is and who they wrestle, but they're phenomenal. I've got a 25-pounder that's ranked. I've got a 49-pounder that's ranked, a 57-pounder that's ranked, 74-pounders that rank, an 84-pounder that's ranked, and a 97-pounder that's ranked in the nation. Any place within the last couple of weeks, any place from 3rd to 12th, it jumps around now. We were ranked 12th last month, and we haven't lost to any NAI schools, and none of the kids have lost to NAI teams. We wrestled all D2 teams, and we dropped. I don't know how that. I think we beat the number 7 team and the number 4 team, and we dropped. So I don't know how the rankings are going. So it's kind of like up for grabs at the regionals. The only issue we're having right now is they're a little bit uptight, and this is the first year that I've been so uptight because they're so uptight. So it's kind of, if I keep them settled down, they'll wrestle well and we'll represent. But with the recruiting class that we have coming in the next 2 years, the men's team is going to be phenomenal. We're upgrading our schedule next year. We're going after everybody next year. They are really, this freshman sophomore group is really good. They're really talented. They're good students. They're good kids, and they work hard. It's the hardest working team ever had. So the next couple of years, you need to look at that men's team. We're going to win it in the next 2 years. I said that. We're going to win it within the next 2 years. We will win the men's title. This is how good this group is. It's the best group I've ever had. Okay. Any questions on anything? All right. Thank you very much.
I was looking at Elia when Archie was talking about fashion for his women's team and tank tops or bro tops or whatever the heck you call them. We take a little different approach in women's golf. That was the sense I got from your reaction. All right. We are going to have our final presentation today from our long-time 27 or 8-year veteran baseball coach. And I've given him a hard time. We had a staff meeting earlier today, and I made a couple of examples and probably gave Denney a couple of times in doing it. But I just say to you, our coaching staff across the board is as good as any small college in the country, and we're really proud of them. And one of the leaders of our staff is our baseball coach. So to give us an update, welcome Denney Crabaugh.
You know, you've been here a long time. When you get referred to, Mr. Harvey and I were referred here a while back as crusty old veterans. Wow. So usually when I come up here, we get ready to start talking about baseball for the first time. It's usually about 20 degrees and snow on the ground, it seems like. But if I would have spoken last time, that would have been the case. But it did take out a weekend full of games. But now we've got good weather. Now we've got good. We've been able to play. We played this past weekend, 4 games. So now we're getting into the heart of our schedule. When you talk about our team, you're going to have to get a program when you come to ball games because it's new. I've got 1 returning starter coming back, a position player, and 1 returning starting pitcher coming back. The rest of the team are guys that played sparingly last year, and then a lot of new faces. So when you come out to Jim Wade Stadium, hopefully this weekend or today, we'll talk about that. Grab a schedule, grab a scorecard so you know who's there. This team, our strength of our team that showed this fall and this spring is going to be in the pitching staff. Our pitching staff has been very strong throughout, and this weekend showed that that was to be as well. We won 3 out of 4 games, and the 3 games we won, our pitching staff, our starting pitchers were outstanding as we went through that. And the depth of the pitching staff is what I think is going to carry us when it comes playoff. Now, usually when you talk about OCU baseball, you talk about the offense and the defense. We've over the years, last year we led the nation in defense. Throughout the years, we've had a lot of offensive power and set some records and stuff like that. Well, this weekend the offense struggled a little bit, but when you've got pitching to carry you through, then it's kind of an equalizer. But this weekend, we lost our first game of the year, then won 3. We had a nationally ranked team, Bellevue was in, and we beat them twice, thanks to a couple of really outstanding pitching performances from a guy named Chris Pike. He's a new guy from Fordham University, and then another pitcher, Mike Nolan. He is a left-handed pitcher in from Grayson County transfer. But this weekend, one thing that we get vital is about the go nuts, because in 4 games we struck out 42 times and made 14 errors. So it's but still won 3 of 4. It was winning ugly. Alan Martin was there. It's winning ugly, but I'd rather win ugly than lose looking good right now. At least we've put some wins in the column, and then there's some things to work on, and we do that. When you got a new team and you're trying to find out who can play, we're playing different lineups. We played 4 different lineups, combinations this weekend, because we don't know exactly who we have. We can enter squad all we want, but it was when you got to turn the scoreboard on, it counts. And so we're trying to find out who wants to play and who our gamers are. It's kind of like, so we've got guys splitting time. One guy plays one game, one guy plays the next game. And we're going to find out who our best lineup is throughout the year. But I think all in all, when it comes down to it, as we get to know one another, as we get into a little consistency, we got a chance to be a pretty good ball club. Especially when you got the horses on the mound, you know you're always going to be in it. So hopefully the hitters are going to come around. I know we do have some good hitters. Keith's working so hard with these guys, and we got guys that are spending a lot of time doing a lot of extra BP and stuff like that, and I know it's going to pay off down the road. So hopefully you guys will come out and see us play. We played today, by the way. It's a good day to play too. The first JV game, we're calling it the JV game in the history of OCU baseball, I think. We play Murray State Junior College tonight, a doubleheader starting at 4. We don't have a JV team. We do have some guys, some young kids that need to play, and then we've got we're going to fill in with some of the guys who played this weekend, get us some extra at-bats, and get a lot of pitchers some time on the mound that need time on the mound. So we play at 4 o'clock today. If you can't make it, the games will be broadcast. Actually, I think Cody is broadcasting it, so that might be kind of hilarious to listen to. My son, he is pretty creative sometimes. But we play this weekend, Friday, against Tabor College, another team that's in the rankings. We play Friday, a single Friday, and a doubleheader on Saturday. And then we're back home Tuesday against Oklahoma Wesleyan, and Thursday we start conference with USAO. So we've got a lot of games coming up. A lot of them are at home. I love playing home games. Come out there, and I got a good feeling you come, you're going to be able to get a coupon from Raising Cane's. We score 4 runs in a ball game, you get a coupon for buy one, get one free. So we thank them for helping us out.
Don't wait for the concession stand to close. I had to go ask for the page.
Right. So anyway, we're going to be good. We're ranked 5th right now nationally, and we do what we're capable of doing. We're going to stay up there, and I think at the end we're going to be there in the running for a national championship. Any questions?
Who's your biggest threat?
OBU. without a doubt. They've got some guys on the mound. They've got the returning NAIA Player of the Year, their first baseman, Matt Page.
Denney, I haven't looked at the rankings, but I think Northwood and Texas Western and OBU ranked pretty high.
They're all
in the top
ranked.
25.
They're all ranked in there, yes.
Yeah.
You know, the conference is going to be pretty strong. We lost some people, as you guys know, but we also gained a couple people. Northwood went to the national tournament last year. The World Series, well, the World Series is listed, so they're returning, and we're ranked ahead of them in the preseason rankings. Actually, we're ranked ahead of 4 teams that went to the World Series last year in the preseason rankings. That shows the tradition of the program and what people across this country, coaches across country, thinks of Oklahoma City University, and that goes with all of our sports. That's one thing that I know you all are proud, and I'm proud of. When I talk to people around, they just go, God, your program, you guys must have money out the wazoo. And I say, no, you'd be really surprised. The outside perception does not equate to the inside realities. I said, what we do have is we have a dedicated group of coaches who are there, and they work together, and they understand what they need to do, and they're pretty daggum good, and then they attract pretty good players, and success breeds success. No one wants to finish last in this. Where's the volleyball guy? Yeah, you know what, you see all those banners up there? Yeah. That's what you come into. You know, this coaching staff, no one wants to be on the backside looking in. Anyway, hope to see y'all at the ballpark. We're going to have a good year. Hope to see y'all out there.
Okay, Melody, pardon? Oh, yes. You've heard me talk before about the Sports Spectacular, which is a big fundraising event we have for athletics. This year, that event is Wednesday, April 2nd. Lois Lyon has, for several years in a row, made a quilt that we always offer at the auction. And this is this year's quilt from Lois. Wow. Thank you so much, Lois. Oh, it looks great.
Other than the crusty pedestal hole.
Can we start bidding now?
Pardon?
Can we start bidding on it now?
She's got time to make another one, right?
Yeah.
As Denney said, we have money coming out of the wazoo.
Lois, did you go over $10,000 last year at the auction?
Well, you've got to help me and bid it up. I won't be there at the
No, I
auction.
mean, in all the quilts, did you go over $10,000 she's raised? Well, okay.
All right, Rachel, we want Delia. Will you help me with the door prizes?